everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today I just finished watching episode 12 of season 2 of the Bad Batch, and yeah, this was an amazing episode, and it was tragic, and it of course is a Crosshair episode. Look, we've only seen Crosshair one other episode, I think, for this entire season, and it's been like a big thing. Fans are like, hey, you know, there was like a whole other member of the Bad Batch, and we kind of left him in a dark place. Where's he at? You know, especially after what's his name, the Admiral, I don't even remember his name, the guy who Palpatine basically framed in front of the entire Senate as being like the reason Kamino's gone. Especially after that guy's gone, and that was like Crosshair's main like obstacle, or his main like antagonist during his storylines. Once he's gone, what's Crosshair's deal now? What does he even do? So now we're finally back with that, and of course Crosshair is essentially back with another lieutenant asshole. It doesn't even matter what his name is. His name is Lieutenant Asshole. So, because like the first thing he says, he's like, "Ugh, more clones," and Crosshair's like, "Is there a problem?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't like used equipment." So, yeah, basically everything that Palpatine did in the Senate about like this anti-clone sentiment of like, can we even trust clones? We gotta get these stormtroopers out there. That's basically just now the belief system in the Empire, right? And that's generally how these things work, right? Like once the dictator, the emperor, once they say something like that, so once they were like, oh yeah, this is what I believe, I don't know if we can trust these clones, now everyone's gonna basically fall in line, and they're gonna be like, clones, gross, you know? So yeah, that's basically what Crosshair's having to deal with now. And they go to this old outpost where, and this is kind of where we get a little fuzzy with the timeline of things. This outpost has been guarded for about a year and a half, 2 years. These clones have been there, supposed to be protecting this cargo, but the cargo keeps getting stolen, and so that's what they're doing now. They're gonna go over there and they're gonna be like, hey, what's the deal? Where's our cargo? What's going on? And it turns out this outpost has been, basically, it's only got 3 people guarding it left, 3 clones, and they've been reaching out for equipment and supplies and reinforcements, and they've gotten nothing from the Empire. Now, they've been here for over a year, so this is kind of where it's like, all right, has the Empire existed for a year now? Is this actually officially over a year since Revenge of the Sith? Or were things kind of already heading this way during the end of the Republic, right? And that's kind of an important distinction, because the implications there of like, oh yeah, the Republic really was just, I mean, we know it was failing, but like really it was like, it was failing, you know? You know, more so than just, oh, Palpatine just did his thing one day, you know? So yeah, it's like the clones were never getting any reinforcements, and everything generally just sucks for them, and they've been here for over a year. And of course, you know, Lieutenant Asshole's like, you clones should have been better guarding this stuff. Where's everyone else at? What are you guys doing? You know, so he just comes in and he's just, you know, everyone's like, God, this guy. So anyways, basically they get attacked again, and they get some stuff taken away, another cargo shipment, which it's mysterious, they don't know what's in these things. And so this lieutenant's like, okay, well, we're not gonna, you know, leave this place unguarded. This cargo is very important. And so he's like, all right, Crosshair and this other guy, I don't remember his name, but this other clone commander who's been here forever. And again, he's like, you know, things are not going well, because he's got a full-grown beard, so you know things are not going well out here in this icy tundra where it's only been like the 3 of them for a year. Anyway, so they're sent out to go recover this cargo. So they take out a couple people. They're following these raiders who are taking their stuff, and we don't really get to know anything about these raiders, but they do come across a sequence where they see one of the raiders was left behind after he got shot by Crosshair. And so it was like, or actually, was that the same one that Crosshair shot? It must have been. Anyways, one of the raiders was left behind, and they kind of have this moment where Crosshair's like, there's no sense in carrying dead weight. So we see that Crosshair is still trying to like continue like the mantra of the Empire of like, no, good soldiers do this, we don't leave, you know, we don't need to worry about people who are just going to slow us down, we got to complete the mission at all costs, you know, that kind of thing, right? But of course they're collecting the cargo, and they get in an avalanche, and what they find is that the cargo that they try to recover it, but it's all spilled all over the ground, and it was nothing but stormtrooper equipment. So basically, the clones have been here for over a year now, just guarding equipment for their replacements. Now, of course, the implications again, it's like if this is not over a year since Revenge of the Sith, that means at the end of the Republic they were already building stormtrooper gear to replace the clones, which it's possible. I don't know. Or maybe this is just definitively like, okay, it's been 1 year since the Empire has existed. Maybe that's all it's saying. Anyways, so they've just been guarding gear for their replacements, essentially, and that's definitely gonna be like, really? This is it? This is the important cargo that we spent a year doing? Like, we fought so hard in this war, and we lost so many people, but we're nothing to this Empire, like, we're just so easily like, just like, yeah, whatever, more clones, you're all just clones, it doesn't matter, you're not people, right? And then we get a tragic avalanche where where this clone commander dies, or he doesn't die, but he's grievously injured. And so Crosshair, against what he said earlier about like, oh, we'll just, no point in carrying dead weight, Crosshair carries this guy all the way back to base, right? So again, you can kind of see where everything that Cody had, told him about, like, are we really sure we want to be serving this Empire? It's not the same as the Republic, all that stuff. We can see where it's really getting across here, and that's why he's definitely like probably the most interesting character in this entire show, because like the conflict inside is like eating away at him, right? There's layers there, Anyways, so he's carrying this guy all the way back to base, and of course Lieutenant Asshole is like, really, you didn't recover the cargo? You failed your mission. And Crosshair's like, hey, guy dying, you wanna get him to a medic? You wanna get some Bacta in here? And he's like, no, why bother? And of course we see it's nothing but stormtroopers here now. So all the stormtroopers leave, and the lieutenant's like, you better just get back to work while you're still useful, and something's gonna happen. And I thought maybe Crosshair's just gonna run away. Maybe we'll see the next episode he leaves the Empire. That's not what happens. Crosshair, he just shoots this guy. He's like, hey, Lieutenant. He turns around and bam. So Lieutenant Asshole is dead. That's good. I mean, he obviously, they definitely designed this character for you to want him to die, right? So he's gone, and of course all the stormtroopers come and they make him surrender, and then Crosshair passes out anyways because he just carried a guy all the way through the snow. And he wakes up and he's on Mount Tantus, it seems, because we see the same scientist lady, the same one. She's wearing the same outfit that Dr. Pershing has. I don't remember her name. It's like Emery or something like that. Anyways, scientist lady. She's at Mount Tantus, and basically she's like, all right, Crosshair, if you cooperate, you might just survive this. So what are they doing with Crosshair? What's going on Mount Tantus? All kinds of clone related stuff. Are they going to try to brainwash him again? Chances are, the way that last episode happened, where they were like, oh yeah, we gotta go get Omega, and then you'll get Nala Se to cooperate. It seems like this is headed the direction where they're going to capture Omega, so the crew's going to have to try to rescue Omega, and in the process they're going to come across Crosshair, who's now captive there, right? So it's all heading back to Mount Tantus. That's what I'm saying. It's all like the season ending might just be like the Mount Tantus arc. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, just Crosshair has finally, I don't want to say he's like, oh yeah, he's a rebel now, but he's definitely he's not on the side of the Empire anymore. He's definitely like seen how the clones literally mean nothing to them, and they're all replaceable, and they're all dispensable, and they're all like, oh man, it was a heartbreaking episode, but it's the kind of thing where it's like, this is what it takes for Crosshair to see the light, because especially last season he was so, good soldiers follow orders. He was, even after his chip was taken out, he was just like, no, this is what I believe in, this is what I'm doing, I'm for the Empire, it's totally awesome. So like, yeah, I'm glad that Crosshair finally saw the light, but like now he's captured, you know, like he really, his opportunity to leave was back when Cody left, I guess is what I'm saying, you know. So but yeah, that lieutenant needed to die, so I'm glad that happened. And man, it's funny that the Bad Batch, you know, it's the show where, you know, you'll have these Adventure of the Week episodes and they're just kind of like the more innocent, like, oh, we're gonna do a race this episode, or oh, we're gonna go here and help these little villagers this episode, you know. It's like little things that, like, okay, yeah, they're doing their thing, you know, they're going on a mission, and it's the crew and you're spending time with them, and you know, that's the show, right? And then you'll get, you know, a good 3 or 4 episodes where it's like, okay, now we're gonna delve into some like real serious stuff here, okay? The themes and the real world's parallels that we're dealing with here, it's like, oh man, you know, it's like, okay, this is suddenly not necessarily a children's show at this point, you know. And then we'll go back to like a, you know, little fun adventure. We're like, all right, we're gonna go do another race, you know. So it's kind of funny the way the show does that. But yeah, this was another great episode, 2 great episodes of the Bad Batch in a row, and you know, 2 great episodes of the Mandalorian in a row. So it's like Star Wars is riding on a high right now. Let's see how long this can keep up. But like, yeah, this is great. Man, Bad Batch is, I hope that from this point on, how many more episodes we got 4 more episodes of the Bad Batch, I think. I hope that they just keep on going this direction for the rest of the season, right? Like we had our Adventure of the Weeks, we did that. Now let's have a really strong ending of the season, you know, like make me want to come back for season 3, like really like justify of like, oh man, something crazy happened, you know. Yeah, I'm really excited for all the Mount Tansa stuff. Pretty cool. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Yeah, Crosshair, really tragic stuff. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.